Well, Bob, we're just finding out that the Bucks have moved their game from Thursday to Wednesday. And you say Wednesday will be better, but could be dicey.
Still a little iffy, still a little bit, because they're going to get big storms regardless moving up in here. But Wednesday is the better of the 2 days. The toughest day is going to be Thursday, it looks like. And I'm thinking, we're kind of blessed in that it's going to be a tropical storm. This time of year, we saw it with Katrina back in 2005 and Wilma as well. This time of year, it can really generate some major storms, but this is not going to be a major storm.
Good to hear.
But still, any storm that's a tropical storm can cause a lot of problems. We've seen that with many other little ones, Debbie, many years ago. Punta Gorda webcam showing some rainfall around. We had it. It was heavy at times in some isolated areas, and that's what we're going to see, the possibility of 10 inches of rainfall. And that will definitely cause some flooding. Beautiful sunset, though, tonight as the storms were making their way out into the Gulf of Mexico. Here's a photo of one of those in Siesta Key by Cindy Desmond, who is a regular shooter. And send her to pics@mysuncoast.com. Thank you for that, Cindy. The story is the storm is moving away. That's always a good thing. It's moving away from the west coast of Florida. But unfortunately, there's a trough that's going to come down over the southeast. It's going to dig in there, and it's going to cause the storm to bend back toward the Big Bend area now, it looks like. But all the nasty weather is usually confined to the dirty side, they call it. It's the east side of the direction of movement. And we're going to be in that, and that means the heaviest weather more than likely will be found along west central Florida, even though if it makes landfall well to our north. This is the rainfall, just the last 12 hours. Really, it was just a couple of hours time from about 3 o'clock until 4:30 or so. That over 2 inches of rain fell in places into south and central Sarasota County. And that was a really quick rain that developed near Osprey, southward down to Nokomis, east along I-75, over 2.5 inches of rain, and offshore just in that short period of time up to 3 inches. That just tells you how juiced up the atmosphere is. We're in this tropical air mass, and when these storms move in, they produce torrential rainfall in a short period of time. And the forecast for the next several days, some areas will exceed 10 inches of rain, 3 to 7 basically everywhere. We just saw that with one storm today. You can imagine, I think it's going to be a little higher than this particular model is suggesting. However, we'll just have to watch it very closely as things progress. 80 degrees right now. The dew point's way up there at 75. Winds are out of the east-southeast at 7. The pressure at 29.93 inches, a little lower than it was last week at this time. Obviously, pressures are falling. The high today was above average at 93. 90 is our average. We'll be closer to this number tomorrow due to increased cloud cover throughout the afternoon and evening. Rainfall, just 3/100ths of an inch of rain at the Sarasota Bradenton Airport. Although we're below average for the month and year, we could make that up very quickly over the upcoming 3 days. Temperatures statewide, 83 in Tallahassee, 76 in Orlando. It's 77 now in Miami, and temperatures around the area into the mid-70s to lower 70s. Lake Placid now at 73 degrees, 77 in Venice. Same in Northport, Mayaca City, 80 degrees at Cortez and in Bradenton. Well, here's the satellite and radar review. We got many different factors taking place. A little low pressure area actually heading toward the Carolina coast. The story on it, though, it is not developing. So we thought maybe it might get a name. It doesn't appear that it's going to get a name before this system gets one, which I think will happen by 5 a.m. as this makes its way off to the west-northwest. Right now, it's known as TD number 9, tropical depression number 9. It's moving to the west at 7. We saw this graphic earlier. We'll move it through time here and show you that the cone of uncertainty really hasn't changed from the earlier advisory at 5 and 11. We're still right there on the border, so it could be anywhere within inside this cone by late Wednesday and into Thursday morning, making landfall somewhere in the Big Bend area. But as I mentioned, most all the rough weather will be to the east or to the right of the center, and that puts us in harm's way. We could even see a surge here, somewhat of a surge, up to maybe 1 to 3 feet. If it comes closer to us, a little higher in some cases, so that could cause some coastal flooding problems. Plenty of fuel for development. The only thing that's stopping this from becoming a real big storm is the shear, a lot of shear in the atmosphere and a little bit of dry air too to the west of it. Thankfully for that shear, this is not going to develop into a major hurricane. We could still see possibility a Category 1 hurricane in the Northeast Gulf, but it's unlikely at this point. This is that tropical system number 8, TD number 8, and it looks like it too could have a name. It would be Ian, and it looks like it will move off toward the east-northeast on in through time. And this is the major hurricane out here, Gaston, which continues to head away into the open waters with no real threat to any land areas at this time. So we'll put this map into motion, show you tomorrow. Scattered showers mainly late in the afternoon and evening, but look at all this moisture moving in. Even though the low pressure is way over here, that'll be a similar thing played out on Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly even into Friday. So get ready. It's going to come pretty quickly as far as heavy rainfall goes. The extended forecast looks like this. Breezy conditions and then windier weather and the possibility of tropical storm force late Wednesday through Thursday. Rain chances tapering off a little bit on Saturday and Sunday. So we got a few days of some rough weather.